Okay, then you've got some information about importing videos, or excuse me, photos or videos, as for that matter, from a flip phone. But in normal circumstances, what you're going to do to import pictures into your computer is your computer has little secure digital cards in it. This happens to be a holder, not a card, but they're the same idea. Currently, I think they're the one I have right here's one that I picked up fairly inexpensively. Let's see. No, this has got a microchip in it too. These are both. They're not actually secure digital cards, but they're holders. And what happens is, like in some of the older flip phones, or even some of the newer smartphones, have microchips in them. And a microchip is pretty small and it doesn't fit directly into a card reader, at least most card readers. So what you can do is buy an adapter. And what you do is basically like an old flip phone, you would take out the microchip, the micro card in, and you would slip it into there's a little slot in here. You'd slide it in, and then you would insert this into a card reader. And this, like my computer does not have a built-in card reader for camera cards. So you purchase a USB device. This particular one is good it has a slot for CF1 and 2 micro drives, which would be a Sony, I believe. And there's some other there's a secure digital and a secure digital micro and SIM cards. So a lot of this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different cards that you can insert into this particular device. So anyway, the video that you saw about the flip phones does not necessarily work for all flip phones. Some of the flip phones would have, as I said, a small chip in them that you can pull out, or even if you have a broken smartphone, you can do the same thing. You can pull out the uh, micro card and either put it into, this one reads micro cards, or else you put it into an adapter, like I talked about. So anyway, once you've inserted the card into this device and the USB is plugged into your computer, the computer will automatically recognize the device. It'll just be like a hard drive. And you can then drag the pictures from this device into the computer, and that would be the next step there. So, okay, now the stage of, again, importing photos. So I talked a minute ago about a card reader, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug the card reader into a USB port of my computer, and then I'm going to insert the card. And there's, let's see, let me plug this in. Not yet. There it is. Okay. And this is I don't even know. This is some old pictures that I've taken, and I'm going to slide this into the reader. And as soon as I do that, you can't tell probably, but on my desktop, there's popped up something called No Name. So if I open that folder file, No Name, in here, the DSIM, that's where my pictures are. And these are taken quite a while ago. Here's some from 2017 and 2000. Let's take a look at 2017. And I click there, and I see that there are pictures. Quincy, a spotted owl, an Oregon motorhome trip. Let's see, I've got some other ones here. In here, there's a 2016 the Chorizo plane. So what I want to do is I want to take, this is my camera. This is from the camera. I took that secure digital card out of my camera, and what I want to do is I want to drag these pictures into another location. And as I mentioned before, I have a drive called the LaCie drive. I'm going to open that up, and let me shrink it a little bit so you can see what's going on. So in this LaCie drive, I have pictures, and I'll slide this down. And the year, I said 2016, so I'm going to go down to 2016. And there it is there. So if I slide this to the side, now I've already imported the pictures, I think. So here's 2016 Chorizo Plain. And so you can see these are the pictures that I have in there. DSCN0292. And if I go over here, there's 241. Looks like I might have missed some pictures. And that's a very good possibility. Maybe I didn't get all the pictures. So what I could do is I could take all these pictures that I don't know whether I have or not. I can take all of the pictures from Chorizo Plain. And what I'm doing is holding the Shift key and clicking the last one. And I'm going to take those pictures. Whoops, try again. Click the first or the last, whichever. And then click the one up at the top. And what I want to do is I want to drag them into this folder here. Now, it's going to tell me, as soon as I do that, it says that such and such a picture already exists. And do you want to replace it? And I'll say skip. I'll apply to all. And I'll skip the ones that are already there. So there may be some that went in, no, they weren't. In fact, if I would have taken the whole folder from this camera, this whole 2016, and drug it over to this 2016 folder over here, I'd had the same information. It would have told me, it would warn me. It says a newer folder name that already exists in this location. Do you want to merge or replace it? And I could merge the pictures. It'll combine the two folders, preserving all the newer items. So if I say merge, that'll work. But probably nothing happened. It was pretty quick, and I don't think anything happened. So this is basically how to get the computers into your, or photos into your computer. The first session we talked, a long time ago, we talked about scanning. And then very briefly, we talked about something like a flip phone to get that into the old pictures into your computer. And the other method is, of course, this method. Of course, with the newer phones, I have an iPhone here, and if I wanted to take some pictures from this iPhone, and let me go into my photos, I wanted to transfer some pictures from my iPhone into there. And I have it set up so that I have to do it by hand. I don't want it automatically syncing. And I'll talk about some cloud stuff for that. So here's some pictures that I took. This is me wearing a hat. So I'm going to click on those pictures. I'm going to click on, let's see, maybe, and there's a little up arrow here. I'm going to send those pictures, and I'll pick out some more. I'll send there's 3 or 4 or 5 pictures of me with a hat on. Not very good pictures, by the way. And there's a little icon here that says, do I want to send them to my Mac Pro? And I just tap that. And what it's doing is it's using Bluetooth, and it's sending them to my desktop. So it says it's received for items from my phone, and I'll open it, and you'll see the pictures that I just sent. So there they are. Okay, and I can store those pictures somewhere later on if I want to. Right now, they're just transferred from my phone into the computer via Bluetooth. Okay, let's stop the recording for now. That's probably more than enough for a session.